Thanks for watching County Report this week. I'm Susan Kenedy. The shift of teacher pensions is not the only issue that has county lawmakers traveling to Annapolis this session. Officials are continuing their efforts to address proposed changes to the Maryland Maintenance of Effort law regarding education funding. Council President Roger Berliner says a bill currently in the House that addresses maintenance of effort reform took their pleas too far and could do more harm than good.
What I'm concerned is in our county, we really honor our school system and are totally committed to our school system. But the legislation that's moving forward in Annapolis right now could potentially cost us another $40 to $150 million, more than that which the school system has actually asked for. And in that context, the combination of that and the teacher pension issue, it is driving a wedge in our community that the school system on one side and everybody else on the other side. And we can't have that. That's not how we think of ourselves, and we want to embrace the totality of our community. And so that's why we're working real hard in Annapolis to try and make sure that doesn't happen.
The County Council has approved a measure that would authorize the installation of cameras on county school buses to monitor vehicles that illegally pass by. With more than 100,000 students riding county school buses on a daily basis, it's hoped this measure will change driver behavior. At a press conference announcing the bill's passage,
I want to thank you all again for being with us here to discuss the passage of Bill 37-11.
county leaders presented a united front in support of the measure that they say is necessary to keep kids safe.
To install school bus safety cameras to find individuals who do not obey the rules of the road when it comes to passing stopped school buses.
When these drivers make that decision to pass that school bus, they do it because, again, they think they're not going to be caught. But with these cameras in place, they're going to get caught. And if these cameras can act as a deterrent to stop these people from passing these school buses, then we've achieved the goal that we've all set out to achieve. And that is keeping our kids safe.
The move to install the cameras comes after a spike in violations. On one single day last year, the Maryland Department of Education witnessed 7,000 drivers overtake stopped school buses statewide. Montgomery County Public Schools conducted a similar one-day test of its own.
On that one day, our operators reported 1,600 incidents of being passed while their red lights were flashing. And in fact, on average, 500 forms reporting illegal passing are completed per year by each MCPS bus driver. So this is a real problem.
Our goal is to get this message out loud and clear. This needs to stop. People need to drive much more carefully, and these cameras will be a critical part in making that happen.
Bob Heron has been driving a county school bus for 21 years. He says drivers passing school buses is a trend that is on the rise and that he's happy to have a way to track down offenders.
And right now, things have even gotten worse. I mean, just yesterday alone, the ones who passed me by, not even thinking about it, there was 5 that I counted. On their cell phones or looking the other way to act like they didn't even see you. And this is very frustrating.
Automated cameras will be mounted on buses to capture pictures of those cars that pass illegally. Tickets of up to $250 will be then sent to those offenders in the mail. Read Across America Day is a nationwide celebration that takes place annually to recognize the birthday of Dr. Seuss. Right here in our backyard, County Executive Ike Leggett paid a visit to one of our elementary schools and spent time reading to students. Lorna Virgili has the story.
I've decided to throw my hat into the ring.
Students at Rachel Carson Elementary School in Gaithersburg got a surprise visitor.
I must decry the wave of anti-dog.
Executive Leggett performed the task of reading teacher.
It was cool having the county executive come to our class and talk to us.
But more than the cool visitor, the chosen story impacted the young listeners.
I thought it was a really good story. I thought it brought a really good message, and I liked it.
I think the story was great and a great message because, it taught me, to be friends with anybody, even if they're your enemies or even if you don't like them, or even if they're not the most popular person in the school.
Read Across America, it's an annual reading motivation and awareness program that calls for every child in every community to celebrate reading. Celebrities, athletes, and elected officials recognize the importance of reading in their communities and bring reading excitement to children of all ages. No doubt, Executive Leggett brought lots of fun to these students who even asked for his autograph.
Can I be the interview guy?
Can I do it? Interesting. He's like famous.
Read Across America engages an estimated 45 million educators, parents, and students nationwide every year. For County Report this week, Lorna Virgili.
County officials are reporting they collected $154,000 during the first month of the new bag tax. The 5-cent tax on paper and plastic kicked off in January and includes nearly all retail establishments, not just those that sell food. Officials expect to raise $1.2 million this year, but if the initial numbers continue, the county could raise $1.8 million. The tax collection rate is expected to be high in this first year, but then drop off over time. All of the funds collected are earmarked for a water quality protection fund. Still to come on County Report this week, we'll bring you up to date on a somewhat controversial redevelopment project in Silver Spring. And county schools continue their efforts to break the bullying cycle when County Report this week continues. Welcome back to County Report. From the new e-TIX system to the recent progress on their new headquarters, Rockville 11's Bridget Breuer has the latest updates from the Rockville City Police in this story.
Thanks to a new grant, ticket writing has gone from a handwritten task to digital, and it's also saving time and money.
Run the license, scan it, print them out a warning, print them out a citation, get them back on the way.
The electronic ticketing program e-TIX gives officers a speedier way to write those speeding tickets.
It gives us more time to get back out on the road.
Chief Terry Treshik is happy with how the software is helping his officers do their job better.
By using technology, you work smarter, not necessarily harder, but they're always working harder because they have good technology, so it's a good thing.
Each e-TIX system costs around $1,000, but the amount of time saved is invaluable.
You always need to be looking for the future of what is out there that works for us, works for the public, and makes it just a more documented and a quicker, more effective and efficient way to do business, higher level of productivity.
While we had some of the chief's time, we asked him about the latest progress with the new police headquarters.
The drywalls are all up. They're working on all it really has shape and form now, and when you go through, you can actually see where everybody's going to be and how it's going to fit together.
Our cameras had the chance to go inside the new space, and from the looks of it, everything is right on schedule.
In the last 2.5, 3 months, we pretty much finished all the site utilities. Gas company, we're still waiting to run the gas service to the building so we can fire up the rooftop units. Finishes going on in the building, drywall is completed, finished paint going on, ceiling grid is in, flooring's going down, so we're pretty much on schedule to be finishing here towards the end of March.
Keep it on Rockville 11 all this spring as we continue to cover the progress of the new police headquarters. One other initiative coming out of the Rockville Police Department has Chief Treshik reflecting.
We just got the reflectors in. They say Rockville reflects on them. We'll be pushing out the program, designing some brochures right now.
The idea is for kids and pedestrians to wear the bright green reflective bands to help keep them safe at night or early morning on Rockville's roads.
It's another way of trying to make everybody more aware that the pedestrians and motorists and bicyclists alike are sharing the same areas, and we just need to be very cautious.
For more information on the Rockville City Police, visit rockvillemd.gov/police.
Montgomery County Police have wrapped up an investigation that has resulted in the arrest of a county man who was planning a double murder. Officer Rebecca Innocenti is here with more on this case. Officer, tell us how you were able to figure out this murder for hire scheme.
Thank you, Susan. In February, the Metropolitan Police Department notified detectives from our police department that they received information that a Rockville man by the name of Daniel Mendoza was attempting to hire someone to kill his wife and her male friend. We began to investigate this, and on March 5th, a Montgomery County undercover officer met with Mendoza. During the conversation, the undercover officer agreed to kill Mendoza's wife and her male friend for money. The next day, Mendoza and the undercover officer met again. Mendoza pointed out who his wife was. She was walking to the Twin Brook Metro station. And also, they talked about specifics of how Mendoza would like his wife to be killed. In the end, he agreed to pay the undercover officer $200 and sign over the title of his vehicle in exchange for the killing of his wife. Immediately after this meeting, Mendoza was taken into custody by police, and he's being charged with conspiracy to commit murder.
Wow, that's some good police work there. Do we know anything about the relationship between Mr. Mendoza and his wife that might have led up to this?
Well, this time we do know that Mendoza's wife in October of 2011 applied and was granted a protective order against him for him threatening to kill her.
Okay, thank you so much. Officer Rebecca Innocenti, Montgomery County Police. School leaders and counselors from across MCPS gathered at the universities at Shady Grove to hear from experts about bullying prevention, self-discipline, and how to create safe and effective learning environments in their schools.
People aren't watching. Rarely does bullying occur when a teacher is standing there.
Professor Dr. George Baer, a national expert on school climate and self-discipline, was the keynote speaker during an MCPS conference about bullying prevention.
It's really about the impact of school climate, school connectedness. These are the kinds of events that can get schools thinking about what they can do to be proactive.
School leaders and counselors from across the school system learned about new strategies and ideas, heard about legal issues surrounding bullying, and worked in small groups to problem-solve real-life case studies.
What resonated with me is that you can't just adopt a program and think that it's going to fix everything about bullying. Academic success is important, but I do think that they need to have opportunities to practice modeling good peer relationships.
Participants will now go back to their schools to share conference materials and their new knowledge about how to foster positive school climates.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the information we have and present it to our teams. We have a responsibility to act on it, to prevent it, and that the importance of doing it effectively impacts our students in their social emotional growth and as well as their learning, which is the overall reason that we're here in schools.
Plans to rezone the Chelsea School site in Silver Spring have been amended. Last fall, the County Council rejected a proposed rezoning for the 5-acre school site, which owners want to redevelop into townhouses. Now the Planning Board has recommended approval of the rezoning case, which will go before the hearing examiner and the County Council. It was the proposed density of the plan that led the hearing examiner and the County Council to reject the developer's first proposal, 76 townhomes on the edge of downtown Silver Spring. Officials were concerned about the realignment of a private street and how it would affect the historic Riggs-Thompson house. The case was remanded by the council back to the Planning Board.
Now in the revised plan, the private street will connect from Ellsworth Drive to Springville Road. So what that will do is increase the green area around the historic Riggs-Thompson house on the site, enlarge the environmental setting, or keeps the environmental setting as it's stated right now, or as it's designated right now, but increases the green area around the house.
To address the concerns of the hearing examiner and the council, the new plan reduces the number of townhomes on the site from 76 to 64. The application continues to be in line with the master plan. In fact, Orabona says the changes make the project even more compatible with the plan.
If anything, it has an increased benefit to the Riggs-Thompson house. Now you have the house will be restored, the exterior will be restored, the grounds surrounding the property will be enlarged and generously landscaped. I think it will draw more attention to the house, and so it will be more of a historic resource for the public as opposed to the current school setting.
Residents in the area are still concerned about potential cut-through traffic with the addition of the private street. However, Orabona says planning staff have looked closely at the plan and are confident additional vehicles in the neighborhood should not be an issue.
Staff looked closely at that. Our transportation staff looked at the existing restrictions in the neighborhoods and also the proposed generation of traffic from these townhomes. And both transportation staff and the planning board were persuaded that that's a very unlikely outcome, that cut-through traffic would actually happen at this location, given the amount of traffic that these townhomes will generate.
The hearing examiner will hear the Chelsea School case in late March, then send the case with a recommendation to the county council. The council is expected to invite testimony from residents as part of its deliberations on whether the rezoning should be approved. Up next on County Report, a local leader is recognized for her contribution to the community. And the Montgomery College women hoopsters look for a national title. We'll have the story when County Report This Week continues. Welcome back to County Report This Week. With more than 60,000 residents, Rockville is the third largest city in the state of Maryland. It's the county seat of Montgomery County, and it's home to dozens of biotech companies as well as several federal government agencies. The city of Rockville is served by a mayor and 5 council members, and Mayor Phyllis Marcuccio is here to bring us up to date on the latest news coming out of Rockville. Mayor Marcuccio, thanks so much for being with us today.
My pleasure. I'm glad to be here.
I understand there was an election last November, brand new mayor and council. Tell us what some of the top items are right now that you're working on.
Well, the new council is challenged, of course, to always balance the budget. And we're very busy right now. And of course, that's an issue for the state, the county, and the city. Rockville prides itself on trying to have a balanced budget at all times. Right now, we look like we're almost there. As a matter of fact, at our next meeting, we'll get our first real glimpse at exactly what is going to happen to the budget. Some of the, let's say, the usual projects that you have in mind to do from year to year may have to be saved for another year, but we're doing pretty well. We've been in Annapolis, obviously, like everyone else, trying to find sufficient funds to cover our expenses, especially the highway user funds. We've been working with the Maryland Municipal League very closely with other cities that are impacted by this loss of highway user revenue. I understand there may be some changes. There may be an increase in our gasoline tax to help underwrite that highway user fund. It's terribly important to the smaller communities. And to Rockville, we used to get as much as $4.2 million. Last time it was about $780,000, not sufficient to cover the potholes and other repairs that are necessary in your community.
That is, it's tough all around. That the Annapolis is something that everybody's keeping a close eye on at this point in time to see where we come out with those teacher pensions, the gas tax, and whatnot. Let's move on to the core of Rockville, the town center, which I know is a very vibrant part of the city of Rockville. We're getting ready to open up Elwood Thompson, the grocery store that's long awaited. This is very exciting.
Well, it's very exciting for us too. We are so pleased that Frit has taken such an active interest in bringing this grocery store, which will be called Dawson's Market, to town center. And the plan at this point is to be open in the fall. We keep pushing it forward a little bit, but I think it's going to make it in the fall. You know, this has been so long in the waiting, and I know it's going to be an absolute wonderful addition to the city, so we're very excited about it. You're going to see the signage change all over the place, and we're looking for all sorts of ways to bring the community and that grocery store together.
Now, I know that Rockville is big on science, and you want to talk just briefly about the upcoming Science Day. Tell us about it.
Thank you so much for mentioning it. April 15 is not just tax day. April 15 is Science Day in Rockville, and we partner with Montgomery College and the Rockville Science Consortium to bring at least 60 to 70 exhibitors to the college campus. We use their science, and we're going to be using their new science building. That is worth seeing. all by itself. Thousands of people show up. We have, it's free parking. Everything about that day is marvelous. It starts at noon and it's over by 5 o'clock. So come early and stay all day. You'll see animals and rocks and all sorts of new experiments and activities. It's a wonderful day. It's designed to try to attract the community to the science that is out there and hopefully get more young children involved in the fields of science and engineering.
Okay, that sounds great. We'll mark our calendars, April 15th. Thanks so much for being with us today, Mayor Phyllis Marcuccio. The Montgomery College women's basketball team took a giant step toward their ultimate goal the other day, and MCTV's Michael Brown has the details.
All season long, the Montgomery College women's basketball team was driven by the bitter taste of a one-point defeat in last year's district championship game against Butler. That loss deprived them of a trip to the national championships and a possible title.
Since I played last year when I was a freshman, we actually lost by 1 point to go to nationals. So that's been in our mind. Every game we went to was like, remember Butler Community College, how we lost at 1 point. We can't do that. So every game we had to come out hard.
That Butler loss pushed them from the moment they gathered for off-season training in the heat of the summer.
In the summertime, we knew remember we lost against Butler. That wasn't happening. So whoever was coming in as freshmen, they're going to join in the ride, and we're all going to come a fan. We're going to win.
And when they did, playing a dominant brand of basketball and spending the season anchored in the national top 5. But it was a tough mid-season win that provided that aha moment for head coach Tarla Gasque.
And I think we had one game there where Alex didn't do a very good job, but the rest of the team stepped up, and I was like, this is it. This is what we need to happen.
From that point on, they transformed from a team with 2 stars, Alex Silva and Portia Davis, to a scary 10-deep squad with every player contributing. They rolled to the Region 20 title, and that set up the district championship game against Georgia Northwestern Tech. And this time they took care of business in a big way. Jumping out to an early lead, they never let up, rolling to a 49-point victory. Their attack was led by Silva and Davis, but it was a true team win as Faye Dunston, Jamila Talley, and the rest of the team took turns scorching the Bobcats to set up a trip to the Nationals in Minnesota.
Nationals is where we're going, and we're going to win Nationals.
It feels great. That's been the goal from the beginning of the season. The girls knew we're going to Nationals, and they've worked very hard for us to get there. I feel real happy about this team and really excited, and I think we could come back with a championship.
Councilmember Valerie Irvin has been named one of Maryland's top 100 women in the annual list selected by the Baltimore Daily Record. The publication selects Maryland women who are making an impact through their leadership, community service, and mentoring. This is the second time Councilmember Irvin has been named to the list. She was also recognized in 2008. When we come back, some aspiring jazz musicians bring their talent to Montgomery County. We'll be right back.
After a vote by the entire campus community, MC has selected new official school colors: purple, silver, black, and white. A new mascot will also be named soon, as voting is currently underway. The new colors and mascot are all part of MC's new One College initiative. Patrick Beldio, sculptor, philosopher, and teacher, will speak at MC's Athenaeum Symposium on Wednesday, March 21st on the Germantown campus. Beldio will discuss the future of art, and the event is free and open to the public. MC will host its annual Holocaust commemoration on March 27th in the Theater Arts Arena on the Rockville campus. This year's ceremony features 2 Montgomery County survivors who will share their experiences. The event is free and open to the public. For more information about the endless possibilities at your community college, visit our website.
Live music has always been an important part of our culture, and Montgomery County is no exception. Our reporter Andy Siegel gives us some insight and all that jazz.
It's a regular weekend in February, and from the outside, it may look like Rockville's Hilton Hotel, but inside, the sweet sound of jazz. America's classical music fills the halls. It's the Mid-Atlantic Jazz Festival, and it's brought to the residents of Montgomery County one very special weekend each year. The Mid-Atlantic Jazz Festival and its executive director, Paul Carr, have a very noble mission to promote true jazz to everyone in the area by bringing together the region's top musical talent, both young and old, all under one roof. This year was no different, with the theme being Standing Up for Real Jazz and hosted by Eric Bird.
You know, jazz music and jazz history is a very big part of American music and American history.
The lineup of talent was nothing short of amazing. The performances varied from high school bands to the soulful sounds of Denise Thymes. Jazz is a musical style that originated at the beginning of the 20th century in African American communities in the southern United States. It was born out of a mix of African and European music traditions. As the music has developed and spread around the world, it has drawn on many different national, regional, and local musical cultures, giving rise, since its early 20th century American beginnings, to many distinctive styles. Many of those styles were represented at this year's Mid-Atlantic Jazz Festival. All the while, vendors selling African art, clothing, and incense lent a feeling of community and strong roots to this vibrant celebration of music that's vitally important for both its history and its constant regeneration. For more information about next year's Mid-Atlantic Jazz Festival, please visit their website. I'm Andy Siegel.
In our Pet of the Week segment, we have a sweet female cat named Atlanta who needs someone to give her a sweet home.
Hi, this is Kathy Stanhope with your Pet of the Week at the Montgomery County Humane Society, and we are here with Atlanta. Now, you can probably tell by now that Atlanta is a girl kitty because she is 3 colors. Most cats that are 3 colors are usually female. It's not always the rule, but it's about 99% of the time. And this little girl is about 8 years old. She's been given up. She is a spayed female, and she's looking for a home because this cat's one passion in life is playing laser tag. She has lots of energy, and she loves to follow that little red dot around the room. She likes kids, she likes to cuddle, and she's also very vocal. I love a cat that will talk to you and you can talk back to it, and she answers and meows, and this is the cat for you if you do like a cat that wants to talk, because she loves to vocalize. Come on down to the animal shelter and meet Atlanta. Give us a call at 240-773-5967 or visit us at the web at mcumane.org.
Well, that wraps up this edition of County Report This Week. Be sure to tune in again next week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. I'm Susan Kenedy. Have a great week.